The Baba Ghoulie Show is brought to you by OTR Halloween Holidays.
Suspense. And the producer of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, the master of mystery and adventure, William N. Robeson.
We who are in the business of keeping you in suspense find ourselves in a quandary at this time of the year. The elements of suspense, murder, mayhem, and macabre mischief are awkwardly out of place at this festival of peace and love. Yet that first Christmas was full of suspense. There was the problem of lodgings for the delicate mother that chill evening when there was no room at the inn. And there was great mystery when suddenly the star appeared in the east. Finally, there was the magnificent climax and happy ending when the three kings of the Orient arrived at last bearing gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. We feel that we cannot improve upon this tale, so we will bring you another, along with our best wishes for a most Merry Christmas. Listen then as Mr. Raymond Burr stars in Out for Christmas, which begins in just a moment.
Here's actress Joan Bennett.
It's terrible to try to act with a dreadful cold. To feel better quickly, I take 4-way cold tablets, the fast way to relieve nasty cold distress.
Yes, tests of 4 leading cold tablets proved 4-way fastest acting of all. Amazing 4-way starts in minutes to relieve aches, pains, headache, reduce fever, calm upset stomach, also overcomes irregularity.
When you catch cold, try my way. Take 4-way cold tablets, the fast way to relieve cold distress.
4-way, 29 and 59 cents.
Here's a word about another fine product of Grove Laboratories. Had dandruff for years? Now get rid of it in 3 minutes with Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. 3 minutes with Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep unsightly dandruff away forever. Apply Fitch before wetting hair. Rub in 1 minute. Add water. Lather 1 minute. Then rinse 1 minute. Every trace of dandruff goes down the drain. 3 minutes with Fitch. Embarrassing dandruff's gone. Fitch can also leave hair up to 35% brighter. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today.
And now, Out for Christmas, starring Mr. Raymond Burr. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
I hadn't figured on being out for Christmas, but my prison record paid off. Takes a lot of good behavior to knock time off and an armed robbery and assault rap, but I was a good boy, model prisoner. Took everything they threw at me with not exactly with a smile. I don't smile much. But I took it without griping, so I'm out for Christmas. And Christmas is as good a time as any for what I gotta do. The town looked cruddy. They got phony tin Christmas trees in the lampposts along the main drag and colored lights all over the joint, and Christmas carols screeching at you from loudspeakers everywhere. Even the saloons got red and green streamers all over the place, and the bar mirrors all frosted like snow. A big bowl of slop called Tom and Jerry they're pushing.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
What'll it be? A little Christmas cheer? A hot Tom and Jerry, maybe?
Ain't you got any whiskey?
Oh, sure. We got whiskey.
Give me a straight shot.
Okay.
Can't you get anything on that jukebox but them Christmas carols?
What's the matter? Don't you like carols?
No, they stink.
You won't think so after you get a couple of belts under your belt.
Do you think so?
Sure, it's Christmas, man.
Yeah, so I heard. That tastes good. Real good.
Say, you look sort of familiar. Don't I know you from someplace?
I was wondering how long it'd take.
Yeah, the voice is familiar, and your eyes sort of...
Joe Watson.
Joe, I heard you was going to get out soon. Charlie Jones told me. But I didn't know you'd be out for Christmas.
Yeah, they got big-hearted.
Say, you put on a little weight. Yeah, that's why I didn't recognize you.
30 pounds, prison child.
But you look real good, Joe, real good.
Yeah. Hey, where is Charlie? He been in tonight?
Not yet, but he'll be around probably.
Gotta see him. You know where he's living at?
Yeah, he's got a room over on 4th Street.
Room? I figured he'd be living in a flop house.
Oh, not Charlie. He's doing okay since he got out. Got a steady job. How about you, Joe? You got a job lined up?
Yeah, I got a job lined up.
A good job?
It'll be good. As good as I can make it.
Has the last-minute shopping really got you down? Or you dashing and prancing all over the town? You bought a lot of presents and you still have lots to go? Well...
Go, 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 get a Scripto.
You don't have to know a size. You don't worry about the fit. A new Scripto pen or pencil always makes a hit. For Mom or Dad or Sister, Aunt Jane or Uncle Joe.
Go, 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 get a Scripto. Go, 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 get a Scripto. Get a Scripto.
Here's the easy, convenient way to finish all your Christmas shopping in a matter of minutes with Scripto pens and pencils, available at stores everywhere. All Scriptos, costing $1 or more, are handsomely gift-boxed. See the famous Scripto Satellite. The Satellite outwrites any other pen you've ever used. Costs only $1.95. Enjoy one-stop gift shopping.
Go, 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 get a Scripto.
Give a Scripto.
Scripto.
And now, starring Mr. Raymond Burr, Act 2 of Out for Christmas.
They even had this rooming house where Charlie was staying, loused up for Christmas. There was a moth-eating poinsettia wreath in the door and red and green lights in the landlady's window. Charlie's room was on the 4th floor at the back.
Joe!
Yeah.
Oh, so they let you out for Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, come on in. Gee, it's good to see you, Joe.
Good to see you, Charlie. Say, what you got there?
Oh, that's an electric train. Just a minute, I'll turn it off.
Electric train, what for?
Oh, my sister's kid. That's all he talks about for Christmas, an electric train. So I got him one at a discount at the place where I work, but I wanted to see if it works okay. You know how it is.
Yeah. So what's the idea of the Christmas tree?
Well, living by myself and all, I thought I'd have my own tree. It's just a little one.
You lost your marbles?
Well, it's Christmas, Joe.
Guys in cell block 4 ought to see you now playing with electric trains into your own Christmas tree.
And I bet they'd like to be doing the same thing.
Not me. Did you check up on Malloy like I asked you to?
Yeah? Yes, he's still on the police force.
Good. You got a gun?
No, I don't have no use for guns anymore.
Know where I can get one?
Well, sure, I guess I could locate one.
Well, I told you to. In my last letter, I told you. Get a gun for me, I said.
Yes, I know, Joe, but look, pal, I thought that... Well, I hope maybe you'd change your mind.
Charlie, from the day he testified against me, I swore I'd get him. His testimony did it, you know. That's what convicted me. He sent me up.
He had to testify the way he did.
He didn't have to be so convincing.
But, Joe, what good'll it do? You'll only get the chair.
I'm not afraid of the chair. I've seen enough of life. It stinks. I ain't in love with it. I'd just as soon leave it so long as I take that rat with me.
But it ain't only him, Joe.
What do you mean?
He's married now.
You kidding? What kind of a dizzy broad would want him?
You ain't gonna like this, Joe.
Ain't gonna like what?
The dizzy broad that married him is Lucille.
Lucille. My Lucille.
That's right. I'm sorry, Joe.
Funny. It's real funny. She wrote me. She couldn't wait for me no longer. You remember when I got the letter.
I remember.
But she didn't say who it was. She never answered my letters after that. Oh, that lousy double cross.
Well, you went up for 10 to 20, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess she never counted on me making it an 8 and time off for good behavior.
But 8 years is a long time for a young girl to wait, Joe.
Mike Malloy's a fine guy to throw me over for. Well, makes it dandy. Double dandy. It'll be a pleasure to kill them both.
Oh, how can you talk that way, Joe? It's Christmas.
Christmas is for people who don't know no better. Kids and idiots.
Oh, Joe, listen to me now. Forget all about Malloy and Lucille. You got a chance to make a new life for yourself, like I'm doing. I can get you a job where I'm working. I'm sure I can.
What are you doing?
I'm Santa Claus in the toy department at Brighton's department store.
Ain't no future in that. You're going to be out of work day after tomorrow.
No, I'm not. They promised to keep me on.
Doing what? Minding the reindeer?
Well, Mr. Brighton believes in giving guys like us a chance. Now, that's why I'm sure that you can get a job there. You come down tomorrow and talk to him.
I'll talk to him after Christmas.
Hey, good. Oh, say, how about coming over to my sister's house for Christmas dinner day after tomorrow?
Yeah. Yeah, I might even do that.
Good. You see, Joe, there ain't no sense in carrying around hatred in your heart, especially at Christmas time. So let Malloy and Lucille have their Christmas in peace.
Oh, they'll have their Christmas, all right. Their last Christmas.
But then it'll be your last one, too.
I just got to figure different. Never mind the gun. I'll get my own gun tomorrow. But there is one thing I want from you.
What's that, Joe?
Tomorrow night, I want to borrow your Santa Claus suit.
Holiday hustle make you queasy, stomach nervous and uneasy? Then
Doodle you know about the little white tablets in the little green pocket roll? Just a-waiting for the moment when you need 'em to bring your acid indigestion under control. Tums are the little white tablets in the little green pocket roll. Tums for the tummy, Tums. Bring relief quicker than you'd ever guess. Best for any kind of acid distress. Keep 'em handy in the pocket roll. Keep your tummy under Tums control.
yes, during the busy, bustling season, get quick relief from annoying acid indigestion. Always carry Tums, 10 cents. 3-roll pack, a quarter. Or get the new 6-roll pack with free metal carrier, 49 cents.
And now, starring Mr. Raymond Burr, Act 3 of Out for Christmas.
Next day, I did my Christmas shopping for a gun. That night, I wrapped Charlie's Santa Claus suit into a bundle, took a bus out to the subdivision where Malloy and Lucille had a house. I ducked into an alley behind the supermarket and pulled on the red suit, whiskers and all. It was going to be so easy I had to laugh. You couldn't want a better disguise on Christmas Eve for murder. I didn't have any trouble finding the house, little box of a house like all the others in the street and decorated with colored lights like all the others. Nobody saw me, even if they had. Who was a better right than Santa Claus to be on the streets Christmas Eve? The gun felt cold in my pocket as I closed my fist around it and pushed the bell. Even it was wired for Christmas.
Yes?
Merry Christmas.
Why, it's Santa Claus.
Aren't you going to ask me in?
Well, my husband isn't home yet.
That's all right. I'll come in and wait for him.
I don't understand.
You don't believe in Santa Claus anymore, Lucille? You ought to.
Who are you?
Don't you recognize my voice?
You sound like...
Joe?
Oh, no.
Good old Joe. He was going to wait for me, no matter how long it took.
Joe, I thought you were...
In the cooler for keeps? I told you I'd come back for you. Here I am.
Well, you're too late, Joe.
Yeah, so I hear. How come you didn't wait, Lucille?
I fell in love.
With the guy who sent me to prison? With a no-good cop?
He didn't send you to prison, Joe. You were guilty.
I'd have beat the rap if he hadn't testified the way he did.
He had to testify that way. He was only telling the truth.
Yeah, so you could get me out of the way and steal my girl.
Joe, you've got things all twisted. It all happened afterwards. I only met him at your trial. We fell in love afterwards.
When I couldn't protect myself.
Oh, Joe, I'm sorry. It just happened.
You're telling me. Where's the fuzz?
Who?
The copper, your old man.
He's still on duty.
Working overtime to put the arm on some stiff on Christmas Eve. When will he be home?
I expect him any time now.
Good. I'm going to be glad to see him.
Why, when you hate him so?
Well, you see, I promised him something. Didn't he ever tell you?
No.
I promised to kill him when I got out.
Joe.
Tonight's the night, see?
Well, you mean it? You've got a gun.
Sure, I got a gun. And I'm going to use it. On both of you.
Both of us?
You both double-crossed me. I could kill you first, but I think I'll wait till your old man comes home. Ought to be interesting to see how he acts. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if he tried to make a deal with me.
A deal?
Yeah, like shoot my wife, but let me go free.
What a terrible thing to say.
You'll see what kind of a creep you married.
Joe, do it then. But do it because I ask you. Kill me and let him go.
I come to get you both. And I'm going to get you both. Together. How about some music while we're waiting? Turn on the radio. Go on, turn it on. He made you happy, Lucy?
Yeah, Joe. Very.
You made him happy?
I hope so.
That's nice. Because tonight you're both going to make me happy. By becoming very dead.
It's too loud.
What's that?
Oh, little Lucy, the radio woke her.
You got kids?
Yeah.
Where you going?
I had to look in on her and quiet her.
Don't try nothing funny. I'll be right behind you.
Oh, there now, honey. There. It's all right. Mommy just turned the radio on too loud.
I'm scared, Mommy. Mommy, look behind you. It's Santa Claus.
Yes, dear, Santa Claus.
Oh, Mikey. Mikey, wake up. Mikey, look, it's Santa Claus. Santa Claus? Santa Claus? I want to see Santa Claus.
Of all leading filters, cigarettes, Kent filters best, Kent filters best. It makes good sense when you smoke Kent, Kent filters best. Of all of the brands of cigarettes, Kent tastes the best, Kent tastes the best. A richer taste than all the rest, Kent filters best. It makes good sense when you smoke Kent. Of all leading filter cigarettes, Kent filters best.
And now, starring Mr. Raymond Burr, Act 4 of Out for Christmas.
had time to jam the gun back into my pocket before those two kids were wide awake and all over me, grabbing at my red suit, pulling at my phony whiskers, pushing me into a chair.
Did you bring me a present, Santa Claus, did you? Where are your reindeer, Santa? Sit down, Mikey. I don't want to sit on his lap.
Lucille, get rid of these chicks.
Where's my present, Santa?
Well,
what did you do with the reindeers? What did you do with the reindeers?
Well, they're parked outside, Mikey, on the roof.
Did you come down the chimney?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Why aren't you close, dirty? Didn't the fire burn you?
Well, no, you see, it's an asbestos suit. Now, listen, you kids ought to go back to bed.
Oh, no, Santa, please, we want our presents. I want to see the reindeer.
See, you got to get them off me.
They're so excited, Joe. They've never entertained Santa Claus before.
I ain't no Santa Claus.
To them, you are.
Yeah.
Santa Claus,
Well, what?
I want to kiss you. Me too, me too.
Yeah, all right, you kids. Now, listen to me.
Yes, Santa Claus, I'm listening. Me too.
You gotta go back to bed now.
Well, I want my presents. Me too.
You'll get your presents in the morning when you wake up. They'll be under the tree.
You promise?
I promise. Now, you run off to bed. On account, I gotta get going. Now, you wouldn't want the other boys and girls to miss their presents because I've been goofing off with you, would you?
Oh, no, that wouldn't be fair.
All right, then. Off to bed you go.
All right. Come on, Mikey. Merry Christmas, Santa Claus. Me too.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, kids. And good night.
Good night. Come on, Mikey.
Oh, Joe. They'll never forget that.
Yeah. Neither will I.
Merry Christmas, honey. I'm sorry I'm late. Hey, what's this?
It's Joe Watson, Mike.
Joe Watson? What the devil are you doing here?
He came to kill us.
What?
Take it easy, Mike. Here's my gun.
You changed your mind?
Your kids changed my mind.
They thought he was really Santa Claus, darling. They were so excited.
Now, Mike, you can send me up again. Better to go back for parole violation, I guess, than for murder.
Well, wait a minute. We gotta have a complaining witness. You want to make a complaint, Lucille?
No, Mike. I want to thank Joe for giving the kids the best Christmas of their lives.
Well, I haven't any complaint then. Merry Christmas, Joe.
I still say Christmas is for people who don't know no better. Like kids and idiots. Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Suspense, in which Raymond Burr starred in Out for Christmas, written, produced, and directed by William N. Robeson. In just a moment, the names of the supporting players and a word about next week's story of suspense.
Christmas Eve on CBS Radio, Bing Crosby invites you to celebrate Christmas with the world on our 4th annual Christmas Sing with Bing. With Bing as your guide and CBS Radio as your magic carpet, you'll visit Rome to hear the Vatican Choir. There, too, you'll hear the sound of the bells of St. Peter's as they ring for the holiday Mass. On our Christmas Sing with Bing, you'll visit New York and Salt Lake City, Canada, Australia, Holland, France, even places like Hawaii, Alaska, and the Fiji Islands, where carolers and choirs will be waiting to sing the traditional Christmas songs with you. To add to the excitement this year, Mrs. Bing Crosby, Catherine Grant, will be at her husband's side. Whether you spend Christmas Eve at home or out on the highway heading for a holiday destination, join us right here on CBS Radio, as most of these same stations present our 4th annual Christmas Sing with Bing.
Supporting Raymond Burr in Out for Christmas were Joan Banks, Lillian Baeff, Charles Seal, Carl Swenson, Howard McNear, and Dick Beals. Listen. Listen again next week when we return with Mr. Frank Lovejoy, starring in The 32nd of December, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
This is the CBS Radio Network.
It's intermission time at the Baba Guli Show. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for some hot popcorn? How's about your favorite soft drinks, which are sparkling cold? And there's all kinds of candy to tempt you. It's radio time, folks. Enjoy the rest of the program. During the intermission, our radio show brings to you a cartoon for the record. We now return you to our radio show. Hope you're enjoying today's radio program. When it's done, be sure to check out our channel over at Watchwhile. Enjoy some tunes with a nice cold soda.
Bring out Elizabeth Selwyn.
Witch!
Burn the witch!
Jethro Kane, hast thou consorted with the witch Elizabeth Selwyn?
No.
Burn the witch! Elizabeth Selwyn, on this 3rd day of March, in the year of our Lord, 1692, we, the people of Whitewood, Massachusetts, condemn thee as a witch. May the flames cleanse thy soul of its evil, of its lust for blood, but may they bring about the death of Abigail Adams.
I have made my pact with the Elizabeth. Hear me!
Burn, witch, burn, witch, burn, burn, burn.
So shouted the people of Whitewood when they burnt Elizabeth Selwyn in 1692. Though, as I've said, little is known today of the actual practice of witchcraft in 17th century New England, superstition, fear, and jealousy drove the Puritans to accuse their friends and relatives of consorting with the devil. Raiding around huge bonfires, repeating vindictive chants, they consigned the poor creatures to the flames. The tortured souls cried out in agony as the flames mounted higher and higher. Burn, witch, burn, witch, burn, burn, burn.
Dig that crazy beat. Shh.
That will be all for today. Tomorrow will be my concluding lecture on the history of witchcraft in 17th century New England. I shall bring along some illustrations which I'm sure will interest you all.
I'll bring the matches.
Maitland! Since you chose to attend these lectures, I had hoped that it was in a spirit of scientific curiosity about the subject. That'll be all.
Bill, how could you?
He takes it all so darn seriously. He's got you all hypnotized.
Oh, Miss Barlow.
Yes, Professor.
Can I see you for a moment, please?
What about our date? Look, I'll wait for you outside. Huh?
Yes, Professor.
Rather a difficult young man, that. I fear that you are more of an attraction to him than my poor efforts. However, I've been reading through your papers, Miss Barlow. They show a very sound appreciation of the subject.
I want to go to New England to do my senior paper.
Well, very good, you know.
Well, I'm not quite satisfied. Some first-hand research. I want to get the atmosphere. Find out how widespread witchcraft really was. What the witches were really like.
Well, it might take a little time, you know.
Well, I have the time. My brother and I were going to spend our vacation with our cousins. What I'd really like to do is to get a room in the smallest, oldest town in New England I can find. Check through all the town hall records. Recheck the libraries. Talk to the Puritan descendants. Make a really thorough investigation.
Your brother is professor of science, Miss Barlow. I hardly think he'd be very interested in the history of witchcraft.
Then I'd go alone.
You don't think he'd object to that?
You leave Richard to me. He's picking me up here for lunch.
Hello, Bill. Professor Barlow. Nan here? Yeah, she's in there with him. Well, I don't like her getting mixed up in this witchcraft business. Why not? It's only part of her history course. Professor Barlow. Yeah? Before you go in there, could I have a word with you? Sure. Well, it's about Nan and me.
Oh. If you're really serious about this, I happen to know of a town in New England. As a matter of fact, it's the identical place where the events occurred that I mentioned in today's lecture, Whitewood. It's quite a small place. It's a little bit off the beaten track, so maybe these directions will help you.
Thank you.
I think you might very well find what you're looking for there. I happen to know the woman who owns the inn at Whitewood. Her name is Newless, Mrs. Newless. So you just tell her I sent you.
Raven's Inn, Whitewood.
What's Whitewood?
Now, Dick, don't be too upset, but I'm going to change my plans for the vacation.
Change your plans?
Yes. Going to a place called Whitewood for a week or so to do some research.
Who are you? What about Cousin Sue? Well, she's expecting you for a birthday party on the 17th. She'll never forget.
I can still easily make it by then. This is important. My term paper's got to be good. It could mean a scholarship.
And I've made all the arrangements.
Come on, Dick. You'll have a good time without me. My mind's made up. I'm going to Whitewood.
Surely any good encyclopedia will give you all the nonsense you want to know about witchcraft.
Witchcraft is not nonsense, Barlow.
I'm sorry, Driscoll. Witchcraft, black magic, sorcery. To me, it's nothing but fairy tale mumbo-jumbo. I'm a scientist, Driscoll. I believe what I can see, what I can feel and touch.
The basis of fairy tales is reality. The basis of reality is fairy tales.
Did you ever meet a witch, Driscoll?
Perhaps.
Oh, come on. You're an historian. No witch ever survived the burning at the stake for all their pacts with the devil.
In 1692, Elizabeth Selwyn went to the stake. She was buried in a churchyard in New England. And yet 3 years later...
Yeah?
3 years later, a new wave of blood sacrifices broke out in the village that had condemned her. The daughters of the elders who had condemned her were themselves found murdered with every last drop of blood drained from their bodies. And afterwards, people came forward to testify that they had actually seen Elizabeth Selwyn.
Oh, stop. This would be more effective at midnight with howling winds and crashing thunder, and even then it wouldn't frighten anyone.
Dick, I'm sorry, Professor Driscoll.
That's all right, Miss Barlow. You won't be the first person to have scoffed at the subject.
Honey, when you get to, where is it?
Whitewood.
Ah, yes, Whitewood. Well, send me a picture postcard of a witch. If possible, autographed. Now, let's have some lunch, eh?
I'm sorry, I have a date.
Nan, darling, I still don't see why you have to go off to this Whitewood place. Now, I thought we were going to have some time together during this vacation.
You know I want to be with you. It's just this is important.
Look, what the heck can you find that hasn't been found before?
I don't know. It's just that maybe, hidden in some attic or buried in some old antique shop, there's something that might give a whole new outlook to the subject.
What new outlook can there be?
You're a science student. How do you know how important research is?
But this isn't about anything real. This is just superstitious people burning silly old women.
But suppose the women weren't silly. Suppose they really had a pact with the devil. A pact that could have supernatural power.
Oh, come on. What kind of power?
I don't know.
it's no use, Bill. We've both tried our hardest to talk her out of going.
Do you really think she will find anything worthwhile?
Well, I think we have to respect her desire to find something new, even if we don't agree with the subject.
Agree with it? I've never heard so much nonsense as that guy Driscoll talks in all my life.
Well, here I am, all packed.
Oh, I suppose there's nothing I can say will stop you from going, huh? Yeah, well, I'll put this in the car.
I still hoped you'd change your mind, Nan.
Don't worry, darling. I'll be back as quick as I can, and I'll write.
Well, don't forget me altogether, huh?
I won't. Give Sue my love, and don't forget we have a date at her party.
Bye, darling.
Excuse me, can you help me? I seem to be lost.
Sure, if I can.
I'm looking for the Wamport Road.
Wamport Road, hardly anyone uses that anymore.
Well, my friend gave me the directions. Take Road 28A, turn onto the Wamport Road, bear left at the fork through to Whitewood.
Whitewood?
Am I that far away?
No, ma'am, not far. Not many God-fearing folks visit Whitewood nowadays. If I were you, I'd...
If you'll excuse me, I'm in a hurry. Which way is it?
Well, follow this road about 2 miles. You come to a fork. There'll be a sign, Wamport Road. Turn left, keep straight. There'll be Whitewood.
Thank you very much. Does that sign say Wamport Road?
Wamport Road, yes.
Oh, good. I was afraid I missed it.
Is it Whitewood you seek?
Yes.
I, too. Would I be imposing if...
No, of course not. Get in.
Thank you.
I think the Highway Commission would do something about these roads. Watch out, here comes another bump.
What is your mission in Whitewood?
Mission? Well, I'm going there to do some research on witchcraft. Professor Driscoll gave us some very interesting lectures on the subject, and I'm going there to get some original source material. Do you know Whitewood?
I've known it for many years.
Do you go there often?
Fairly often.
Oh, then you must know the Raven's Inn.
I shall be resting there.
Oh, so shall I. Oh, my name's Nan Barlow.
My name's Jethro Keene.
Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you.
Just like a picture out of a history book. I feel as though I were in the 17th century. Why hasn't Whitewood been written about?
Well, it's off the beaten path. Few tourists come here. To Whitewood, time stands still.
Look at that church. Must have been beautiful. What a shame they let it get so run down. Straight on?
Yes, follow the road around.
Ah, there it is. What a lovely old building. 17th century at least. How picturesque can you get? Right by the graveyard.
Yes, it has not been used for more than 200 years.
Any witches buried there?
There are indeed. All in a section of unconsecrated ground.
Spooky, isn't it? Well, keep your fingers crossed for me, Mr. Keene. I hope Mrs. Newless has that room. Oh, I didn't hear you come in. Are you Mrs. Newless? Oh, I'm Nan Barlow. I was told I might find a room here. I was recommended by a friend of mine, Professor Driscoll. Perhaps you know him.
That will be all, Lottie. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Unfortunately, Lottie cannot talk. I've often told her not to answer the bell.
Oh, poor thing. Then you're Mrs. Newless.
I am. May I help you?
Yes, I'd like to have a room here for 2 weeks.
The hotel is quite full. Oh, the guests are never about at this time of the day.
Well, I'm a student of Professor Driscoll's. He told me if I mentioned his name, I'd have no trouble.
Well, there is a room I could let you have. It's just off the lobby.
Oh, thank you. Oh, Mrs. Newless, that plaque. Is it true that Elizabeth Selwyn was really burnt here for being a witch?
She was?
And do you believe she was a witch?
Come along. I'll show you to your room. I hope you will be comfortable. Yes, it is a nice room. The previous occupants have always found it most agreeable. Well, if there's anything you should need, just ring the bell for me at the desk.
Thank you.
It's been so many months. I've counted the days to this holiday.
So have the others. It wasn't easy for some of my guests to get here. Many had to travel vast distances.
I was lucky. The last few miles were enchanting. Miss Barlow is very good company.
You must be tired, Jethro. Your room is ready.
And the festivities.
I am prepared.
Oh, Mrs. Newless. I thought I'd have a short look around town. I won't be gone long.
I think you'll find the church interesting. Unfortunately, it no longer has a congregation.
He will be pleased.
I'm told this was once a house of worship.
It is still a house of worship. I am the reverend of this church. As long as the breath of life is within me, this house shall remain God's house.
Must have been a beautiful building.
To me, it is still beautiful.
I'm sorry. What a shame the people have let it fall into such a state.
Strangers rarely come to Whitewood. Who are you?
I'm Nan Barlow. I'm staying at the Raven's Inn.
Why have you come to Whitewood?
Well, because I'm interested in witchcraft.
Young woman, leave Whitewood. Leave Whitewood tonight. For 300 years, the devil has hovered over this city, made it his own. The people in it are his. Evil has triumphed over good here. Look at my church. I have no parish. No one worships here. His is the power.
What power?
Leave Whitewood. Leave Whitewood tonight. I beg of you.
What power?
Leave before it is too late.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Please excuse the mess. We haven't been open long.
You have some very interesting things here.
Yes, they belong to my grandmother. When she died, I came back to sort things out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then you don't live here?
No, my family lived here for generations, but I've just been back a few weeks. Would you like to have a look around?
Thank you. Oh, I didn't mean to frighten you when I came in. It's just that all the people I've met here have acted like I'm a person from another world.
They don't see many strangers here.
And I had the most, well, unusual experience with the Reverend. He barred my way from the church. And he talked to me about a curse. And he warned me to leave Whitewood. Can you explain that?
No, I can't.
Does he often act that way?
He's my grandfather.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right. It's happened before with strangers. Oh, the lack of parishioners and loss of his sight has made him bitter and suspicious.
I'm afraid what with him and the town, I was very scared. When I saw your lights, I made a dash for them.
I'm glad you did.
Do you have any books or pamphlets on witchcraft? You do, don't you? A friend of mine...
Well, we have a collection gathering dust, but why on earth would you be interested in... Oh, I'm sorry. It's really none of my business.
No, that's all right. I'm studying it in college, and I've come here to write my term paper.
Well, just wait. I'll see what I can find. That's Elizabeth Selwyn, burned as a witch, March 3rd, 1692.
Yes, I know. I saw the plaque in the lobby of the hotel.
You're staying at the Raven's Inn?
Yes. It was recommended to me by a friend of mine, Professor Driscoll.
Alan Driscoll?
Yes, do you know him?
No, but my grandfather speaks of him. His family come from here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Here, I think this will do for a start. A lovely locket. May I see it?
I believe it's quite old.
It is. You're very lucky.
I'm even more lucky to have found this. A treatise on devil worship in New England. This must be a very rare book. I'm afraid I couldn't afford to buy it.
You can borrow it, if you like.
Oh, could I? That would be wonderful. I promise I'll bring it back in a few days.
You're very welcome, Miss,
Barlow. Nan Barlow.
Nan Barlow.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night.
Barlow?
I've heard some strange noises in my room.
Oh, possibly the water in the pipes. This is a very old inn.
No, it seemed to be coming from the cellar underneath.
I hardly think so, Miss Barlow. The cellars do not extend beneath your room.
Then why is there a trapdoor in the floor?
The ground was filled in many years ago to strengthen the foundations of the building.
But I'm sure
Well, if you insist, I will come and see you. I don't hear anything.
But just a few minutes ago. Never mind, I'm sorry.
You're welcome. But you can see for yourself there is no ring in the trapdoor because there is no reason to lift it. There is nothing underneath but earth.
Come in. Oh, hello, Lottie. Come in. Oh, I don't need any more towels. I haven't used mine, and they're quite clean.
Lottie, I've told you before not to bother the guests. Miss Barlow, I thought you might care to join the others.
I will as soon as I finish my notes. I'll put some clothes on and join them.
A treatise on devil worship in New England. Well, do you find this interesting?
Why, it's fascinating. The things I've learned. I bet you don't know the half of it. And you live right here on a spot where the witches were actually burnt. Listen to this. On Candlemas Eve, February 1st, in the year 1692, a coven of witches, a coven that's 13, some men, some women, whose power came from the devil, gathered beneath the Raven's Inn to perform a black mass in the honor of Lucifer. The witch, Elizabeth Selwyn, later to be burnt at the stake, marked a young girl for sacrifice by obtaining an object of value belonging to her with which to call her, and leaving in its place a dead bird and a sprig of woodbine. The witches sacrificed her on the altar and drank her blood at the hour of 13. What's the hour of 13?
Well, personally, I have never heard a clock strike more than 12. Now, how about joining the dancing?
In a little while, I promise. Oh, by the way, I seem to have misplaced my locket. I remember having it in my room, and now it's disappeared.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll ask Lottie.
Well, I'm not saying it was stolen. It's just, I remember having it on the dresser, and now it's gone. I would appreciate it.
Of course. I'll look into it immediately. Lottie, I have warned you too often about annoying our guests. If you disobey me again, I shall turn you out. And if I turn you out, there will be no place for you anywhere. You do understand, Lottie, don't you? Ah, Miss Barlow. I'm afraid Lottie is nowhere to be found, but I will inquire about your locket first thing in the morning.
Oh, thank you. Where is everybody?
Most of the other guests have gone to services.
Services on the 1st of February. Candlemas Eve. The night when the witches mocked the rituals of the church.
Are you all right, Miss Barlow?
Yes, quite. Thank you. Good night.
Good night, Miss Barlow.
Mrs. Newless! Mrs. Newless! Mrs. Newless!
Elizabeth Selwyn.
No, no!
11.
No! Let go of me! Let go!
Hey! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Susie. Happy birthday to you.
Yummy. Delicious.
Dick, have you got any idea what's happened to Nan?
I'm sure she'll show up. She probably met a good-looking he-witch. I was bringing him along to the party, only their broomstick blew a
Well,
gasket.
it's not like Nan to be late for anything. What you get worried about, huh?
Oh, she'll be here. I'm sure she'll make it. Oh, she's probably here now.
You answer the door, and I'm going to put a record on for some dancing.
All right.
Hi, Dick.
Bill.
Oh, what's the matter? You expecting somebody else?
Oh, yes, Nan. Look, come in, come in.
Well, Nan, didn't she hear you? We made a date to meet here before she left for Whitewood.
Well, she probably got held up. Look, give me your coat, huh?
Nan was never late for anything in her life.
Relax. Take it easy. Join the party. She'll be here.
Dick. Dick, I haven't had a letter from Nan in over 2 weeks now.
She's probably been too busy working on her paper.
No, there's something wrong, I know it. Look, will you do something for me?
Mm-hmm.
Ring up Whitewood, will you? Ask him if she's left.
You serious?
Yes, I am.
Okay. On a long distance, I'd like to speak with Miss Nan Barlow at the Raven's Inn, Whitewood. No, I don't know the phone number.
What? Didn't she give you the phone number?
Oh, I know, but that's my sister. They say there's no such place as the Raven's Inn.
But that's crazy. She's staying there.
Give me the police.
She left in such a hurry, she must have forgotten to return it to you, Miss Russell.
She seems such a nice girl, too. Wouldn't have thought she was the sort who'd forget to return a book.
We cannot always judge by our first impressions, can we?
I'm not usually wrong about the people I lend my books to.
Well, perhaps you'll be more careful in future.
Thank you for letting me have it.
Remember me to your grandfather. Lottie, get out of the way, you clumsy creature.
Can I help you?
Yes, we're from the sheriff's office. We had a call this evening. A missing persons report from some college kid named Nan Barlow. The party calling said that her last known whereabouts was the Raven's Inn.
And Barlow, that's strange. Yes, I met her.
When did you last see her?
About 2 weeks ago. She came to my shop and borrowed this book. It's quite valuable, and so not hearing from her, I decided to come and get it. Mrs. Newless had it.
May I? That treatise on devil worship. I must put this in the report. Peculiar things some of these college kids do nowadays. Well, thanks for your help. Come on, Charlie.
Hello? Yeah. It's police. Yeah? Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Well?
Police sent a car out to the Raven's Inn. And checked out 2 weeks ago.
Don't get it.
Well, neither do I.
Look, these are Nan's books and papers. Go through them. See if you can find anything which might give us a lead. I'm going to pay a visit to a colleague of mine.
O Lord of Light, accept this sacrifice.
come in?
Well, yes, of course, please do. Can I take your coat?
I tried to phone you last night, but I guess you weren't in.
No, I wasn't. Would you care to go in the study? Sit yourself down.
Thanks.
You take a drink?
Ryan soda.
Ice, please. Now, what's on your mind?
Well, Nan's missing. And she has been since the day after she arrived at Whitewood.
Really? You quite sure?
That's what the police said.
What are they doing about it?
Carrying out a routine check. I don't suppose they can do much more until they've got something definite to go on.
Well, I would have thought there was a very great deal more they could do.
What? As far as they're concerned, she disappeared 2 weeks ago, and no one in the village seems to know anything about it.
What did you come see me for?
I thought you might have some ideas. Why did you send her to Whitewood?
Because it was the best place for her research.
And you suggested she stay at the Raven's Inn.
Sure, it's the only inn there is.
With an unlisted phone number?
The inn has its own clientele, Barlow. It doesn't need to advertise.
How do you know it so well?
Because I was born in Whitewood.
I see. And you'd have every reason to believe she'd be perfectly safe in going there.
I've no reason to suppose that she wouldn't be. Nan struck me as being perfectly capable of taking care of herself.
I grant you that, but why hasn't she come back or let us know?
Look, Barlow, I can understand your anxiety, but I'm quite sure there's nothing for you to worry about. Nothing at all. She's probably got absorbed in the subject and gone off someplace. I wish that all my class had her application.
Yeah, well, I'm going to find out where this application led her. I'm going to retrace every step Nan took. I'm either going to find Nan or know what happened to her.
I can't stop you from going.
No.
I'm not afraid.
Afraid? Why?
Well, if anything did happen to your sister and somebody else went along to try and find out about it.
Same thing might happen to them?
Possible.
You seem to think something happened to my sister then.
No, I just think you're jumping to conclusions, Barlow.
Maybe, but I shall find her.
Professor Driscoll,
Yes.
I don't like to disturb you, but may I see you?
Well, of course, please come in. Good luck in Whitewood.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, but did you say he was going to Whitewood?
Yes, he is.
Silly to be surprised, but I've just come from Whitewood.
Really? It's quite a coincidence. My own family happens to come from Whitewood. As a matter of fact, I was born there.
Yes, I know.
Please sit down.
Thank you.
Do you care for a drink?
No, thank you. I think you know my grandfather, the Reverend Russell.
Russell? Oh, yes, of course I do. How long have you been living in Whitewood?
Since my grandmother died a few weeks ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, now, how can I help you?
I've come about a pupil of yours, Barlow, Nan Barlow.
Yes.
She came to Whitewood 2 weeks ago. I met her and liked her, and she told me that she was a student in one of your classes, that you recommended that she stay at the Raven's Inn.
That's quite right, I did.
Well, that's what I've come to see you about. On the day after she arrived, she disappeared.
Oh?
Later, the police came asking questions. Her family were worried. I thought you might have their address.
And why do you want her family's address?
Because I have something of hers I want to return.
Well, you just leave it with me, and I'll make sure they get it safely.
Well, I don't want to trouble you if you just give me their address.
As you wish. Her address is Dorchester Street, 225. She lives with her brother. As a matter of fact, he's a colleague of mine. You just met him. He was leaving when you arrived. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a lot of work to do. I'm rather a busy man at the moment.
Of course. Thank you for your help.
Not at all. I hope it achieves something. Well, you will remember me to your grandfather, won't you?
Yes, of course. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Miss Russell.
Yeah, it's Nan's locket, all right.
As far as I know, it's unique. I gave it to her. Where did you get it?
The servant at the inn gave it to me. It was strange. I don't think she wanted Mrs. Newless to know I had it.
Mrs. Newless?
She runs the inn.
Well, why did you come here, Miss Russell?
I found this.
Professor Driscoll's notepaper.
I found it in the pages of a book I lent your sister on her first evening in Whitewood. When she didn't return it, I went to the hotel.
What was the book?
An old book. Book about witchcraft.
Do you believe in it, Miss Russell?
I don't know. Sometimes I almost think I live with it.
Live with it?
It's an obsession of my grandfather's. Up till now, I didn't take him very seriously. He's an old man. But now I'm beginning to wonder if what he says isn't true.
What does he say?
That there's something evil about the village. That on certain nights, the inhabitants leave the streets, close their doors, and stay behind them. That on these nights, the dead come to life.
Nights like Candlemas Eve?
What do you know about Candlemas Eve?
It's in one of Nan's books. I don't believe it. Things like this don't happen today.
In Whitewood, I wonder.
I'm going to Whitewood tomorrow after classes. I can give you a lift.
Thank you, but I must get back. I can't leave my grandfather alone. He's blind.
May I come and see you when I arrive? I'd like to have a talk with him.
Please do. It's the house next to the church. Goodbye.
Bye. I'll see you to the door.
Would you be going to Whitewood?
Yes.
Would you take me along with you? It's a dark night for walking.
You're the Reverend Russell's granddaughter, aren't you?
Yes, how did you know?
I know a great deal about Whitewood.
Have you ever been there?
Now and then.
Never seen you.
To see me is a special privilege. It's reserved for a chosen few.
What does that mean?
We'll soon be at Whitewood now.
This is as far as I go. You will.
She's pretty, too.
Yes, she is. Very pretty.
A living descendant of those who were cursed. It somehow seems to make it better.
Another day.
And tomorrow,
The witch's Sabbath.
Which way to Wamport Road?
Straight ahead. Fork in the road. You see a sign. Turn left. You heading for Whitewood?
I am. Many people head this way?
Not many.
Is this the only way in and out of the town?
In this direction, yep.
You wouldn't remember by any chance a pretty girl in a convertible about a month ago?
Barlow girl. Read about her in the papers. Never seen her again. Told the police.
Thanks.
Could you tell me the way to Whitewood, please?
Another one. Straight ahead. Fork in the road. You see a sign. Wamport Road. Turn left. Takes you right in.
Well, thanks.
Let me warn you, young fella. They don't like strangers in Whitewood.
Okay, fine. Thanks very much.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like a room, please.
The inn is closing.
I'll only be here a few days.
But the inn is closing.
When?
In 2 days.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to stay until then.
If you insist.
Well, could I have the same room my sister had? Still available, isn't it?
Yes, it's available.
Mrs. Newless, you told the police that my sister checked out.
You are mistaken, Mr. Barlow. I told them that on the morning of February 2nd, I went to her room and found it empty, her bed not slept in, her luggage and car gone, and her bill unpaid.
Well, you can put the charges on mine. When was the last time you saw her?
On the evening of February 1st. It was shortly before midnight. She'd been in the lobby here dancing with some of the guests. She seemed to be enjoying herself.
Did any particular guest pay a special attention to her?
And not that I noticed. Your sister kept very much to herself.
You know why she came to Whitewood?
It is not my habit to inquire into people's private business.
Would the fact that she was investigating witchcraft have antagonized anyone in the village?
Hardly. There have been other students here, you know. Besides, your sister was a very agreeable and likable young woman.
Well, have you any idea where she might have gone?
None.
Thank you. Now, may I see the room?
As you wish. It is this way. If you should need anything and I am not at the desk, you have only to ring the bell.
Thank you. Hello.
I'm so glad you've come. I saw your car outside the Ravens Inn earlier. I wondered what had happened to you.
I've been talking with Mrs. Newless, and then I took a walk around the village.
Find out anything?
Everyone here seems to be afraid of something.
And you don't think it's just my imagination?
I don't know. Who's to say where imagination ends and truth begins? It's nothing tangible. It's just the way they look at you.
I felt it, too.
May I see the book that Nan borrowed?
Yes. I put a marker between the pages where she must have stopped reading. Just sit down, and I'll tell my grandfather you're here.
Thank you.
I warned you, Lottie.
Grandfather, this is Mr. Barlow.
How do you do, sir?
God be with you.
Shall we sit where we'll be more comfortable? Here's your chair, Grandfather. You must be tired.
I am really tired. I have little strength left these days for the fight.
Won't you sit down? I'll make some coffee.
The fight against what, Mr. Russell?
Against the evil that besets this village. The people are creatures of the devil. They know no other god.
You mean they worship Satan here? Today?
Satanism was never stronger than at the present time. For 200 years, the people of Whitewood have carried out rituals that mock the church's teaching.
I find it very hard to believe, sir.
Do not doubt, my son. It is real enough. For years, I struggled against the witches. Their master took away my sight.
Seems incredible.
I have tried to convince others. They, too, found it unbelievable. But I know these people have a pact with the devil to worship him and do his works. In return, he gives them eternal life.
Eternal life?
Aye. And to seal this bargain, they must sacrifice a young girl on 2 nights of the year.
When are these nights, sir?
Candlemas Eve and the witch's Sabbath.
Candlemas Eve, that's February the 1st. And when is the witch's Sabbath?
Tonight.
Now you know why I came to see you.
I had no idea it was so late. May I have a rain check on the coffee? I'd like to have a few words with Miss Newless again.
Of course.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
I'll see you to the door.
God be with us.
Well, Miss Russell, do you think that Nan's disappearance is connected in some way with these witches' ceremonies?
Yes.
Well, I'd like to come back later, if I may.
Please do. And my name is Pat.
Well, mine's Richard.
I think I feel better now you're here.
Well, I'm going to stay until I find out what's happened to Nan.
Take care. Now drink your coffee before it gets cold.
You must not see that young man again tonight.
Why not?
The devil comes in many disguises.
I'll get you a spoon. And Father, there's a bird in the drawer. It's got an arrow through it.
Go and look on the front door.
It's a sprig of woodbine.
Shut the door. Shut the door quickly.
Grandfather, what does it mean?
Now listen, my darling. This is their sign. The witch's sign.
What can we do?
We must leave here. Leave here immediately.
Stop the car. Something's wrong. It wrecked the car.
Barlow! Phone Barlow!
Hello? Hello? Hello, I want the Ravens Inn.
Yes, Mrs. Newless. Mr. Barlow.
That for me?
Yes.
Hello?
Dick? Dick, I'm in terrible danger. We've got to leave Whitewood at once.
Danger? But from what?
We've got to leave...
Pat!
Please help me!
Patricia! Pat!
What's happened, Mr. Russell?
The witches. The witches have Patricia. Destroy them.
Mr. Russell, how?
The shadow of the cross. Use the cross. I adjure thee, O creatures of salt, by the living God.
Mr. Russell. Maitland! Maitland, what's happened?
Patricia!
Hello. Hello, operator?
We've been waiting for you.
Dick, these are the dead who killed Nan.
Barlow.
Dick, help me.
Come on, Pat, hurry up!
Maitland! Get to a cross! A cross! Shadow of a cross!
Dick, he's moving.
Lift the cross!
Quick.
I'm jersey by the living God! Back from the cross! Come here, Abu! Get the shadow over!
It comes nearer.
Not fail. We must finish the sacrifice.
Take that!
Wait! Wait for the hour of 13.
Are you right?
Think so.
Got a score to settle with Mrs. Newless. You stay here.
Thanks for watching the Baba Ghoulie Show by OTR Halloween Holidays. This is Waddle the Duck saying check out Channel Watch Waddle for some fun cartoons with no static.